Ladies and gentlemen, boys and squirrels, we're in for a treat today. I've improved the mic situation, so this one should go a lot better. At least you guys will be able to hear me. I'm kind of a quiet guy. It's hard for me to be loud and presentable, baby, but we're into some stuff today. We've got two different orders I was waiting on to try and put together. We have one from your boys at LEEFAI, and we got this one off Amazon. We have the Tech Deck 25th year anniversary pack. I'm going to open this puppy. It's got all types of shapes. We're going to go through the shapes of each one and which one I want to set up and what's in this package as well. Let's check it out. There's going to be some cutting in between because I need to find out how to get a recording situation where you can hear me and have a good picture of what's going on here. Have it nice and functional this time, a little bit more presentable as opposed to last time. This is a surprise. We'll talk about this in a minute. This is going to be for upgrading one of these bad boys once we get the shapes open. There's a 26 millimeter deck in here. This one right here, the World Industries, and I haven't used a 26 millimeter tech deck in a good 15 years. So this is going to be interesting. What do we got for loot? It's all the stickers. Okay, so let's check out these stickers. We've got some World Industry, Santa Cruz, Toy Machine. Some of these are pretty sick. These are definitely going to go on the slapped on the old park here. Blind Flip Element. I really like that Toy Machine. I don't know if I forgot it in frame. I really hope so. But Bree's going up the quarter pipe with the old school board. It's a mega ramp looking, or a huge quarter pipe. Half pipe, sorry. Oh, I almost broke these ones. Gotta keep the stickers in good condition. Seems like they're glued. So be careful with that when you go to take the stickers out. Take this plastic off first. There we go. That one's really cool. It's got the World Industries. I think it's Flame Boy and Wet Willy, as far as I recall. I could be wrong. Because some of these brands were a little before my time, even. I think World Industries was really popular in the 90s. And I didn't get into skateboarding till probably early 2010. 2010s. Some cool blind stickers on there as well. World Industries, we got another big Toy Machine, Alien Workshop, Tech Deck stickers. Very thin Alien Workshop sticker. You could even probably slap that on a really big board like a 38, 40 millimeter fingerboard. You could probably use that as like a design. So let's get into these. Each of these shapes I'll try to go over. I'm going to save the best for last, obviously. Or at least my most desired. The reason I bought this set, we're going to keep that bad boy for last. So we're going to start from this way and work our way down. That was much more of a pain in the butt than I anticipated, but I think we got them all out of here. So let's start with the Element. There we go. Not too bad. She's like a nice little cruiser shape. I'm going to be interested in trying all these shapes out. Seeing what their main differences are, their strengths and their weaknesses. With how they feel. But whoa, excusez-moi. Element, it's a cruiser shape. I believe it looks to be about 32 millimeter. It's got a nice boxy tail and nose. The nose curves off a little bit more than the tail does. The tail's a little bit more fat in the end. Looks like there's definitely potential for some interesting trick combos on this puppy. So anyway, next up we got Santa Cruz. Similar with another funky cruiser shape, but it's a little bit thinner. A little bit more tapered in the middle. The nose is still sharpened off, just like the Element. But it's just got that taper to it. It looks like just a little bit thinner in the middle to give it a bit different of a board feel. It feels like this one actually came with some soft bushings, and the washers are cupped. If you can see that closely, there's washers in these ones. The bushings are softer, noticeably softer. You can actually wiggle them. And they have little cupped washers inside covering the bushings. So this must be one of the newer models. This one's... Oh no, they both have this. Wait, these all might have new bushings. Doesn't look like it. We'll get to the next ones. But yeah, I think it looks like they have some newer generation Tech trucks. You can tell by the hangers as well. Actually, they have more of a shape to them. There's more of a pinch near the pivot cup. So there we go. We got Element. We got Santa Cruz. Love that graphic. I have a couple other ones here that are really neat. I love the Santa Cruz graphics. I have a couple here. This is kind of irrelevant, but like the Godzilla one I was dying to find. And this bad boy here, the SpongeBob one. Those ones are super sick, and now I can add this puppy to the collection as well to go along because it matches very nicely. So next up, I've never actually used these skateboards before in my life, or I've never really heard of this brand, but this shape's very interesting. It's a Foundation Skateboards. It says Justin Lovely. Yes, go. From what I can see, and it's on a lamp. Looks like a magic lamp. Very cool looking shape. This is one that I've been interested in upgrading. It's got like a beach surfy kind of shape. To put good trucks, wheels, new bushings on this will feel sick. Old Tech Deck trucks versus the new Tech Deck trucks. These are the new ones that have the washer. The original old ones, it's just this hard piece of plastic that doesn't move at all. It doesn't budge. It's very stiff. Like this is me pushing down on it. It's not moving. Meanwhile, the newer trucks, they're very loose. I'm actually surprised. I didn't realize that these are the first newer generation Tech Decks I've tried, and they have much more responsive turning now than when I grew up. When I grew up, they were all like this, the old school bushings, where you're not turning at all. You've got to learn how to kick turn into your turn sort of thing. But the newer generation, you can kind of carve into it. So Foundation Skateboards Magic Lamp graphic, really sick. Especially the shape, especially this little pinch in the tail. I'm wondering if set up, if that would help with the scoop and hard flips and inward heel flips, which we'll find out eventually in this, maybe in this video, maybe in the next video. Okay, we are back again, but we brought ourselves a trusty measuring device so I can get a rough estimate. I don't have a caliper, so my estimates aren't going to be as accurate as other people's. Next deck, also a very interesting one, is a cool graphic, is the Alien Workshop. This also has the old school Tech Decks. Old school Tech Deck trucks. No, the bushings are hard as can be. But the shape's very interesting. It's got like a cruiser, pintail, longboard sort of shape to it. Alright, so that's that one. Next we've got Toy Machine. Got somewhat of an egg shape to it. This one nice and rounded on the nose and the tail. Nose and the tail are about the same dimensions. Okay, back at it. So we've got the Toy Machine. It seems to be about 32. Probably tapers off a little bit. The nose looks a bit It could be my eyes tricking me. The nose looks slightly thinner. Slightly more sharp than the tail. It actually looks like it's at its widest, just under 30 millimeters. Or 29, but this doesn't feel like a 29. Maybe, oh, this would be a 29. Sorry, I'm thinking about this puppy at the end I'm excited for is going to be a 26. Next, we've got a really wide boy. We've got the widest deck in the box. It's the blind with the little bandana on the skull guy. Now this is the 32s I remember. Except I think they had the conventional concave, which is what our next one is. Like the old-fashioned concave, the first concave I remember Tech Deck coming up with. The V1, if you will, and this was the next version of concave for plastic decks, which I didn't use as much. It was a bit newer. Definitely, it has a concave, but it's much more rounded out. So yeah, that's our 32. So that's our real Tech Deck 32 plastic. Nice and wide. That one feels great. That one's going to be really nice to skate around on. Next we have a Tom Penny graphic from Flip. This is the concave I'm used to. As you can see, it's a lot more sharp. More deep, sharper, more pronounced concave. And this is the standard 29 mil that we all know and love. We all know and love so much. At least if you grew up. This is pretty much everything I ever skated had. Up until the last 5 years, everything I skated as a kid was this setup with this aggressive, sharp concave. 100 millimeters long, I would imagine. This puppy goes out to. Yeah, 100 millimeters long. And, yeah, this is what I would skate on. This is what I learned everything on. It's this type, this shape in specific. The 29 mil Tech Deck. I think this one, it's actually, the nose and the tail are completely symmetrical. No matter what side. It's the same, and I think that's what made it easier for me to learn on. Bushings are hard as a rock. And you can see once again the difference between the trucks. New trucks have the shape just looks more defined and more worked on. Like they've updated it. They've tried to make it more realistic, and the axles are less sharp. They're still not rounded like you want on a pro truck. But I mean, for a Tech Deck, it is what it is. You're not getting the best performance, but it's still going to give you everything you need to learn tricks. All right, ladies and gents, now it's the star of the show, baby. This is the reason I bought this pack. It was for this guy right here. This puppy right here. Now, these are really hard to find, and wow, I haven't even touched one of these in a long time, man. This is really cool. So this is a 26 millimeter Tech Deck. These are the ones that we skated. What year would have been, man? Like 2006, 2007, 2008. This was the shape that started it all right here. Before we started getting bigger and bigger shapes, this was the standard a long time ago. Very, very cool. It's really cool to hold one of these again. The closest I had to that, a 26 mil setup, was this Dynamics. I've got the Dynamics Cruiser with some urethane wheels and Dynamics trucks on them. Which, yeah, when you see they match up, it's about the same width. And side to side. The width of the board's the same. That's a real 26 millimeter Tech Deck. Now this puppy is what I'm interested in setting up. But I had I put a post on Reddit asking what 26mm deck should I set up, as well as posting here on the channel on fb.jonathan, the official channel, bro. I made a post. I didn't get any responses on my YouTube post, but on the Reddit, on the fingerboarding Reddit, this was the deck everyone wants me to. They want to. This is the deck everyone wants to see me set up. This is from the Godzilla tech deck release. Here, I can pull that bad boy up too as well. Yeah, so that's the tech deck Godzilla. I made a video for these and for the SpongeBob, but unfortunately I didn't record it well. I recorded it in 4K and I wasn't able to keep the footage in time to be able to actually edit and upload a video, so I'm learning my mistakes as I go. Unfortunately, I've lost some content trying to learn how to create it. But if I can try to recreate the Godzilla and the SpongeBob tech deck unboxing, let me know if you guys are interested. I'm more than willing to try and recreate it. But before that, last two trusty things, we got a tech deck tool. These aren't great. They are not nearly as good as something like the teak. This is phenomenal. I recommend getting one of these kits if you can. It works much, much nicer and more precise than the tech deck tool, but the tech deck tool will get the job done. It's just going to be a lot harder, and you have to be very careful when setting up, especially with pro trucks with one of these. Now another really cool thing I haven't noticed with any of the other tools I have a whole bag of these, right? And none of them, out of any of the tech deck sets I've gotten, except for the 25th edition, this actually has a little tech deck logo engraved into the side of the tool, like we did the other ones. Now this is really cool. I seen it on I seen someone make a comment on Reddit, on the fingerboarding Reddit, how this would make a cool Monopoly piece, and I actually completely agree. It's the tech deck dude. There was a time, I think around like 2007, they made tech deck dudes, and they were these little clip-ons that you could put on the tech decks, especially the 26mm, and it would just be a guy for a post. It's good if you, it was meant for people that had collections and just had display stands or display cases. It's an interesting throwback to see one of these though, and it's definitely a neat little souvenir that comes with the pack. On the bottom it says 25th anniversary under the guy's board. Tech deck, 25 years. So tech deck's almost as old as me. I'm 29. Tech deck's been around for 25 years, so if you do the math, I was 4 years old, 5 years old. Of course, I'm not a mathematician. I'm a skateboarding aficionado. Okay, so next we're going to get into the meat and potatoes. This is what's going to change our boards and make them perform a lot nicer than they do. What we've got here is an order from LEEFAI, a controversial company in the fingerboard scene. But I think they have some good products. I'm going to be proven right or wrong here. What do we got? So we got one package with everything inside of it. One thing I've ordered before and I've considered it tried and true are these guys. Now, LEEFAI makes pivot cups. There's two different types of pivot cups. I forget the difference at the moment. I think one's called the standard. One's called like the standard and one's the 4.0. One's made distinctly for the 4.0 truck and one's made for an all-purpose truck. They're both very solid pivot cups that they break easy from my experience depending on the truck. I've put some of these in pairs of dynamics and they have the same pair still. And they work wonderfully. Like I've put these ones, the more curved tip LEEFAI pivot cups. I put those into my dynamics and they feel great. And then I think I put the other ones as well in my dynamics and they felt good. But when I put them in teak and LEEFAI trucks, they seem to break really, really quickly. This is another great example of using, with the 32 millimeter, I got a pair of these bushing, or these pivot cups that fit perfectly in my dynamics. These are the King of Kings 32 millimeter higher die mold. But those pivot cups feel great, like really, really good. So hence why I got a reorder. I got myself another stack of pivot cups on pivot cups on pivot cups, baby. So we can use them, abuse them, and reuse them type stuff. Now this is the real make or break star of the show. If the 25th anniversary Tech Decks wasn't it, it's going to be this. LEEFAI has a 4.0 truck that has been praised online recently for its inexpensive but good performance as a truck. And not only that, they've released now a 26 millimeter version of the truck, of the 4.0. And that's what I was interested in when I bought this order. I already know their pivot cups are, for the price, they're relatively decent for switching in and out. If you skate every day, if you use fingerboards every day as a habit, then you're going to go through pivot cups, and it's better to buy bulk sets like this, I think, for a cheaper price. And you can just have steady performance. Now look at these bad boys. They look promising. They look very promising. Actually, they look like the other 4.0 trucks that I have, which I didn't have great experience with, I'm not going to lie. The pivot cup on one base plate was too big. I don't know if I can find them right now. Because 26 mil, I think, for almost any Tech Deck shape is going to be the perfect truck. It's going to fit the 26 millimeter perfect. And it'll even fit something bigger, I think, like the 30 millimeter, 32 millimeter. I don't know about the 32 mil. Maybe that's going too big. That I think you'd need to size up. Go to 29 mil trucks on the 32. But on these kind of decks, this shape should be, in theory, it's going to be perfect. Now let's go to the Reddit board. The one that was voted for on Reddit, at least, because I put it on YouTube. Nobody responded yet, but hopefully in the future, like, comment, subscribe, and keep an eye out for posts for setup videos. I'm more than willing to listen to your guys' opinions of what you'd like to see. And this is the closest I can get. These guys wanted to see this setup, so I'm going to set this one up with the 26. Okay, chat, guys and girls, boys and squirrels. What I thought I royally turned out okay. So I used my drill, and I put it too high of a speed, and it actually melted through the entire Tech Deck. But not through the entire thing. I was able to catch it before it got to the bottom, but it actually, I thought turning up the speed might help. But it ended up still securing quite well, so we're not completely, it's not completely in vain, you know what I mean? Could have been worse. Let's put the drill bit back. Alright, so I think the last step now is to just throw some wheels on it, and I have a pair of wheels in mind, actually. I have a pair of Black River wheels I'm going to throw on these. That's what we're going to use for this puppy. Give it an old school vibe, man. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, after a lot of tossing and turning, hemming and hawing, I had to, I lost a, I lost a nut. I had to replace all the nuts just to get it to look nice. We got the Black River wheels. The Black River basic wheels that came with my original complete. We have these new LEEFAI 26mm trucks on the 32mm cruiser, Godzilla cruiser that everyone was telling me to set it up on. So far it's looking pretty good. But we're gonna see how it skates. In the future I may even put urethane wheels on it, but I wanted to have the old fashioned hard Black River wheels just for the nostalgia. Something with some free spin, but it's still really hard. Anyway, let's check out the clips.